Hey guys, thank you for clicking on this one. This is more solo dragons and something that, thanks to the Mundo video, it's like I don't know what to say. That Mundo video that I made, sorry, excuse me. That Mundo video I made like allowed me to just really, how should I say this? Okay, so it just really allowed me to think about that passive, right? That not passive, the mastery. I'm sorry. Yes, this mastery. And thanks to this mastery, it reminded me. Okay, the mastery reminded me of Poppy's passive. Okay, I was getting thoughts crossed. And with Poppy's passive, when she reaches a low enough amount of health, it reduces damage by a lot. So with that in mind, if you activate health pots while you're in that state, you could regen and keep yourself alive. But you'll never regen too much where you take the full brunt of the dragon damage. So you're just regenning, and then you reduce the damage, you lose a little health, you regen in, you take the damage, so on and so forth. So it kind of just keeps you and forces you in that spot, right?
They
Let me show you. This is just attack speed setup. I like this kind of helps a lot of champs. Just going attack speed in the jungle. That kind of helps a lot of champs, by the way. So, a lot of combinations work out when you have attack speed. And of course, her Q, every auto she does, it reduces it by 0.5, the cooldown. So, you can understand why attack speed is pretty good with Shyvana. So now going back to the whole second win situation. Now, yeah, it's nuts. It's like Poppy's passive in a nutshell. But so once you have like the 25% less health, all you gotta do is just activate a health pot, and all healing effects, even like regening and stuff like that, is going to start healing you. The healing that you get from the machete, just increases. Everything increases, and sure, it's like, oh, but it increases by 10%. That can't be a lot. It's just the fact that everything's increasing. So, long story short, I've managed to solo dragon with champs that I couldn't solo it before with. And, I soloed. Here's the thing about Shyvana. I soloed dragon with Shyvana without that. But the thing was, I had so little health, I couldn't go back into the jungle. So that was the problem. It was like, oh, I can't keep jungling. And one of the biggest concepts of these videos is the fact that you want to be able to stay in the jungle, because everybody knows if you're really, let's say you're trying to really play the game, like, hey, I'm playing to win. It's all about farming. It's all about gold, your creep score, stuff like that, getting the experience. And every time you have to back and buy, every time you have to leave jungle for whatever reason, you're losing out. Time is of the essence, and you're losing out on EXP and gold. It's like time is money in the real world, and then in this, time is money and EXP. So every time you back, you're losing, and you're allowing the opposing jungler to gain an advantage over you. So the fact that I could solo dragon with Shyvana but couldn't continue jungling was like, is this video really worth it? So then I decided to try that Mundo situation, since I was like, okay, I have enough health to survive the dragon with my first attempt. Let me use like the same page setup I used with Mundo, and it works out. And then I tried other champs that I failed with before, and it worked out. And I'm like, wow. So basically, if you use second wind and get some health pots, and use the health pots when your health is that low, it kind of sustains you and keeps you like right there, so you can actually fight the dragon. And I was like, this is nuts. So who knows how many champs can actually fight the dragon with second wind mastery. But the biggest issue with that is, are you sure you want to have so many points in a defensive tree? Now, I know Shyvana, like, if you don't have any tanks on your team, like if the support's not a tank or if the top lane's not a tank, then Shyvana could go tank, especially thanks to her passive, giving her just a little bit more resistance and stuff. So I can understand Shyvana rocking so many points in the defensive mastery, but you know, a lot of champs, I know a lot of you won't, go that route, but hey, you could rock the jungle with any style, because we all know that later in the game it's more about your rune page, and it's more about your items. So with that in mind, it's like with that in mind, it's like you could basically do it. And so it's down to preference at that point. So if you say I don't like defensive mastery trees and I don't want to, that's just how that's gonna go down. All right, got that. So yeah, thanks to that mastery, just walking to dragon with this much health is not a problem. And of course, just like if you was playing Poppy, you just wait for your health to reach that point. Oh crap. Okay, let me pop it now. You see, I got 22 for that instead of 20. So when you eat the biscuit, you get an instant 20. But thanks to the mastery, I got 22. So that basically let me know, I timed it right. Oh crap, I could have smited a while ago. I probably didn't need smite, looking at the situation. And then you fight these guys. Okay. I probably did not need that last health pot, but I used it. So yeah, if I smited dragon a little sooner, because you do 400, and I smited at 3 because I wasn't paying attention, I would have had more health, so keep that in mind. But yeah, there it goes. That mastery is just godlike. And I don't know how far people would want to take using that mastery, but it's just clear that it can allow a lot of champs to just solo dragon early. And at this point, thanks to the stun with that, that's basically any situation. Any champ that you can solo dragon with, you can just simply do grumps and get the CC effect, and you could just keep farming jungle. That's definitely what's going to allow any champ to just stay in the jungle. So that's just something to keep in mind. See? So yeah, I continue jungling to show you guys, put your mind at ease. It's possible. If I did it better, I wouldn't have needed that extra health pot. But yeah, I ended up using it because I wasn't focused. And then you gotta smite up. You just keep fighting it with your kick. However you want to do it. You back, you buy, or you could keep fighting more jungle creeps because this thing spawned. See, you did one clear, so you can buy what you want. You got this much gold over a K. But yeah, this is Shyvana jungling, and thanks to that second one mastery, I was able to continue. Now, of course, these are all concepts to understand that the character can solo jungle. I saw solo jungle, of course. Can solo dragon, and now mind you, all these videos, these videos I make, I'm doing it solo, right? The spawn can help you as well. Like if you start with blue, it's better to spawn on red side so you can immediately get to the dragon with full health and as soon as possible, so the minute won't pass where he'll gain an extra 100. You know, if you spawn blue side and red buff is your first buff that you got to get to, if you got a leash, if somebody's gonna leash you, then you can go to dragon with more health. It's stuff like that. So all these videos is, you know, you can change them, you could customize them. These aren't like, you know, the only way it could be done. It's just the way I found that it could be done, especially solo by myself, no help. That's primarily what it is. So if you don't like using second wind, then there's a good chance that if you have somebody leash you red buff without a hard leash without you having to smite it, then you can go to dragon with 2 smites. And the health that I didn't have when I was fighting dragon and couldn't continue jungling, you would have more health. You got 2 smites and you go into dragon with a lot more health thanks to your leash. So that's stuff you got to keep in mind when you see these videos, is that, you know, hey, this is going to be different. I could do it this way, or I can do it that way, which it might be better for me, or might be better for me in game. You know, because you got to keep all those variables. You got to keep those variables in mind. You got somebody who can leash you, what spawn you're spawning at, what buff you're starting at, and how fast you can get to the dragon thanks to all these factors, because you're going to have more health, and dragon isn't going to be gaining so much health as time passes. So thank you for watching this, and of course, especially now with this mastery that I'm going to be using, of course there's going to be more of these videos. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and all that good stuff. Thanks for the support. Blah blah. I'm rambling. Okay, bye.